Hi, my name is Keith Nitka. I'm the Battleship Operations Manager here on board Battleship Wisconsin. And I want to thank you today for joining us on this Whiskey Wednesday virtual adventure. Part of the City at Sea programming, you can see we are in the laundry, ship's laundry. All the ship's laundry comes down here to be processed. Enlisted officer, chief petty officer, doesn't matter. It all comes down here to be cleaned. For officers, it gets pressed and then sent back to where it came from. Now, the chief petty officers on board the ship do have a washer and dryer. They actually have a few washer and dryers in their area for their use, but that we're going to talk about in another episode. Today in the laundry, you can come down here and visit us on board Battleship Wisconsin, see the laundry area. We have washing machines, we have dryers, we have a permanent press machine, and then there are ship's servicemen, the SHs again, who take care of the laundry. Now, just like with the barber shop, they go to school and learn different things about working down in the ship's laundry. It's a little chilly down here today because we're actually inside the water. I don't know if you can see my breath or anything like that. But under normal operating procedures, this area is a very warm area, of course, this laundry. They got the ship's, the hot water is going for cleaning clothes. We got the dryers going, the permanent press machine going, so it's a very warm area down here where the sailors would work. But laundry is done like this in the Navy. Now, when you go to boot camp, one of the first things that you do after you get issued all your uniform items is put your name on it. You stencil your name on everything that you get. The only thing that you don't stencil is your socks. So when you send off your clothes to the laundry, it has your name attached to it. They know where it goes to come back to you. Your socks, of course, are not marked. So what you do with those are actually tie them to the belt loops of your pants. And they get washed that way, and then they come back to you, and those are your socks as well. So in speaking of stenciling, so this is a pair of dress white pants, and you can see this is the stencil. This is my boot camp stencil here, so you can actually see Nitka KJ 7536, my service number and my last name. Then here you see on the blue shirt, again, Nitka. So your name is on all your clothes, and that's how you get it back from laundry. Laundry is separated into two piles, darks and lights, or blues and whites. And they're collected by different division on different days. Laundry comes down here. It's typically the most junior sailors in the division are the laundry petty officers or the laundry guys. They'll collect laundry out of the bins and they'll bring it down to laundry. They'll sign it in, it gets weighed, and then the laundry guys take care of that. And then when laundry's done, for enlisted it's the following day, those same guys will come back with the clean clothes. They'll bring it back to the division and put it on your rack. And then when you come back from wherever you are, work or on watch or what have you, you put your clothes away. And that's how the laundry's brought down here and it's brought back. Laundry's done on separate days or different days depending on the division. Like I said, enlisted, you'll bring your clothes down on one day, and then the following day it'll be picked up. Officers are done and finished and back in the same day. Wednesdays are reserved for linens, table linens and bedding. Officers and chief petty officers bedding is done through here as well, but that day is Wednesday. So if you follow me, we're going to go over to start with the washing machines. We're going to talk about the washing machines and then the whole cycle all the way around to get it back up to the sailor to wear. So come on with me. So here we are in the washing machine area. We have three machines. They're the Dyna Wash machines made by the Edco company in East Berlin, Connecticut. It's a 500-pound capacity. So we're going to put 500 pounds of clothes, maximum thereof. So the first thing you're going to do when you bring your laundry down to laundry, the guys down here they're going to weigh it because it can't overload the machines. And we're going to put the laundry in there. There are bins here that have detergents in it, and if you come and visit us on board Battleship Wisconsin, you will actually see detergent that was left behind from the last commissioning in the 1990s. It was a really neat surprise when we opened up these bins and found detergent still sitting in there. But the clothes get washed in here. It's roughly the same time cycle as what you've got at home, give or take. I think it runs anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes to do a load. depending on the soil conditions and that sort of thing. Once the clothes is washed, it's put into a bin here like this, and then it's rolled around the corner to the dryers. So if you come with me, we'll go over to the dryers. So these green machines are dryers. They're made by the Sissel Corporation from Louisville, Kentucky, and they have a 50-pound capacity. Now drying, again, just like what you have at home, the times vary depending on how much laundry you've got in there, what exactly it's made of, and how wet it was when it came out of the washing machines over there. But there are 5 machines here in the dryers, and like I said, they hold a 50-pound capacity for drying. Works the same as what you have at home. Fill it up, close the door, start the button, and it takes care of itself. When it's done, there's a buzzer that comes, or there's a buzzer that sounds. You come over, empty it out, put it all back into that bin, and wheel it around. If it's an officer or a chief petty officer, you're going to look at possibly pressing it. If not, you're going to take it all the way around, back out front again to where it's going to be put back into the laundry bags that it came in, so that it can be picked up and brought back to the division that's responsible for it. So next stop along the way is going to be the flat iron. So if you come with me, we'll talk about the flat iron. So this machine is the flat ironer. It's made by the Chicago Flat Iron Corporation, and it is used for bed linens and also tablecloths. Up in the wardroom, captain's cabin, they will have at times table linens. Special events, they'll break out the nice stuff and they'll have tablecloths and table napkins and things like that. It all gets washed and it goes through the ironer. Officers' bed linens also, they go through the ironer here, and then it gets folded up after being washed and sent back to the officer where it came from. So this is the flat iron machine. It's also located in the same area as the dryers themselves. So if you're an officer on board the ship or a chief petty officer and you need your uniforms pressed, we got an area for that as well. So that's our next stop. So follow me over there. So if you're an officer or a chief petty officer here on board Battleship Wisconsin, your last stop for laundry will be in this area here. This is the press room. So you can see here, just like at your dry cleaners, we have these press machines all throughout this area and also in the tailor shop around the corner from us. So if your khakis, your dress uniforms, they get all cleaned and pressed in this area here. Works the same as what you've got at your dry cleaner with the steam. This is not typically where the sailors, the other enlisted sailors, get their clothes ironed. All berthing compartments, or I should say most berthing compartments, have an iron and an ironing board unless some sailor along the way broke it at some point in time and supply never replaced it. So if you were just a regular enlisted sailor, E1 to E6, you got your clothes back, you would have to iron it yourself. One of the things they teach you in boot camp, something that I remember very vividly from boot camp, was the Ricky Recruit iron. That's what it was referred to when we were in boot camp, Ricky Recruit iron. And what that is your two hands. Rub them up, make them nice and warm, and then smooth out your clothes. That's the Ricky Recruit iron. Here on board Battleship Wisconsin, the enlisted sailors did actually have an electric iron, but like I said, if some knucklehead didn't break it prior to you using it, you had an iron to work with. Now, that's not to say that some enlisted sailors did not get their clothes pressed in here. Let's say you were friends with the ship servicemen who worked in here, or you were the ship serviceman yourself that worked in this area. You had really nice looking uniforms because you could do them yourself here on the press machines. And we have on one of the press machines an iron-on chevron and petty officer patch that bled through the uniform that it was being ironed onto and onto the gold cloth here. So there are remnants of it. It actually happened, but unless you knew somebody who worked here or you worked here yourself, maybe pass them $1 or $2, a couple of bucks to get that done for you. This area was strictly for the chief petty officers and officers. So the last stop would be to package it all up to send it back to where it came from. So just follow me back in there. So this is the last stop for your laundry. Laundry's come down, started over in the washing machines, got washed, got dried. If you're an officer or chief petty officer, it was pressed, and then the last stop is here. This is where it's going to get separated again, put back into bags, and then the laundry divisional petty officer, or like I said, typically the youngest or the newest guy in the division, will come down and pick up the laundry and return it to where it came from. During our 8-month deployment to the Persian Gulf, laundry did approximately 537,600 pounds of laundry just during that 8-month time period. That is just uniforms. Sailors do not have their civilian clothes washed in the ship's laundry. Just like with the barber shop, there are regulations. Regulations here in laundry specifically state that only uniform items are to be washed in the ship's laundry. So you've got a pair of jeans, you've got a t-shirt or something you need to get washed, you're going to take care of that yourself out in town somewhere. Bahrain, it was kind of tricky. Most places in the world you go to, they've got laundromats to work with, but sailors are good like that. They find a way to get stuff done. I've even heard about throwing bags of clothes over the side into the ocean and dragging them behind for a while. The salt water beating on the clothes will clean it. I don't know how comfortable it'll be after the fact, but I've heard of that happening. So I know it did happen, but I've never done it myself. I can't speak for as to how comfortable it is, but I can only imagine. But this is Laundry here on board Battleship Wisconsin. I want to thank you for joining me today on this Whiskey Wednesday virtual adventure, part of the City at Sea programming. Please continue to watch, and I offer you to come down and visit. You can come down and see laundry. You can see the wash machines. You can see the press machines, and the guys here on board the ship, the crew on board the ship today, more than happy to talk to you about all the different things that that the battleship has as far as your city at sea. So my name is Keith Nitka, and I want to thank you for joining me today. You have a wonderful day.